Yeah. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Roll call in advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Traded in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recaps and I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, trend. Yeah, send it to the deck. Yeah, sell it through the spec. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys. Today, we're live from the OnChain Hour, and I'm really excited, guys, because we have Bitcoin just under 119. We have Ethereum, guys, the token that we've really been watching. Here, we have this idea that maybe Bitcoin has excelled to being a part of TradFi, meaning it's now a part of the S&P. It is now part of the Dow Jones. It is now a part of the Nasdaq. And Ethereum is actually the leading indicator that is going to set the trend for the rest of crypto. We're kind of seeing that right now. You know, Ethereum's running, you have Bitcoin and Rune's running. You have Ethereum running, you have Cardano, XRP, and so much more running. I think we're right. I really do think we're right. That is a leading indicator for TradFi. That is a leading indicator for us here at OnChain Revolution. Really excited to kind of see this push up to 4,100. So we have a chart here we're going to get into, you know, basically showing you that if ETH breaks 4,100, send everything. Send absolutely everything, because it's going to get nuts, guys. It's going to get nuts. I think we're going to see what we seen in 2021. I think we're going to see what we saw in the late stages of 2017, guys. I am super excited for the next couple of months here in crypto. I am super excited for the next year here in crypto. I have a mindset of selling May and go away, guys. I think we're going to run all the way up till May. Get excited, guys. Get your bags ready. Get in here right now, because you are running out of time to purchase cheap crypto. Right now, perfect time. You didn't miss anything yet, anything at all. But in a couple months, you're going to miss everything. So really excited for this. So let me bring my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, bro? You hype as I am? I'm ready to go, bro. I'm ready to run through a door, bro.
I can see it. I can sense it. Yeah, I mean, look, we've all been waiting for this moment, right, to kind of kick things off. And we're not there yet, but we are definitely working our way there. We took the first baby steps, and, you know, Ethereum showing strength is those first baby steps. And it's not just showing strength, it's showing really good strength, right? Now, getting past $4,000 is this next level. And you mentioned that 41 is it 4,100? I think that a lot of people are saying, yeah, if we can move past that, then we go into this kind of, you know, free upward kind of, you know, just acceleration that is beautiful to see and witness, right? And then we'll see what happens after that. You know, typically Ethereum gets to close to an all-time high, then other blue chips and even mid caps can enjoy the fruits of that as well. We'll see how far it trickles down. But remember, we're only in July, right? We still have 5 months left to end this year. And so I think the second half of this year is going to be so much better than what we experienced the first 6 months, because that was brutal. But now we have entered this, phase of excitement, of energy coming in. The Google search results are the crazy thing we'll go over here in a little bit is Ethereum matches crypto, and it's at its all time for the past, I will say 2 years in terms of rating. So we'll get into that later.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And I think once we get to 48,100, it's going to be a go signal. 4,800 is going to be pretty much the ultimate. Let's see what happens here. If we can get past that 4,800 on Ethereum, I mean, all signals go, and then Ethereum enters price discovery. And what happens when something like Ethereum gets into price discovery? I mean, you could see 100x's like off the board, not from Ethereum, of course, but from things maybe in the Ethereum ecosystem, or stuff that really hasn't run yet, or stuff that's been so manipulated down they cannot manipulate it anymore, like dog. And I'm really thinking that we're going to see a massive bull run. I think this bull run might be bigger than last bull run, because this time we have TradFi who are able to play, and you're seeing these companies come out. I mean, Ethena is getting a publicly traded company. Hype already has one. TAO already has one. I mean, what's going to happen when every asset that is mature enough to have one of these gets one of these crypto companies, where it's like, screw the ETF, we don't need one, we'll just invest in these crypto companies who are holding the asset, you know what I mean? So we get exposure to the asset through the company. Like, this is going to get nuts. It's going to get absolutely insane, and you're kind of seeing the early days of this for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And they get to kind of choose which tokens they believe that are going to be successful in the future. But I think they have good fundamentals to be able to choose that, right? Like, for example, the company that said, hey, Hyperliquid, look at them. I mean, look at the volume, look at the fees that they accrue, look how they're keeping their token strong. Okay, we're going to go there. Ethena, okay, they're stable coin that's backed by this mechanism. We believe in them. So it's a little different, but it's their way of being degen. They do a little bit more due diligence, but that's okay, right? What it's going to do is really prop those tokens up in terms of strength and foundation. So we'll see what this looks like in the next 12 months, because it's going to be very interesting. The fact that they are starting to degen in their own way, and I'm talking about more of the institutions, and it's going to be an interesting thing to see, I think.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. All right, let's jump into the first topic of today: crypto, a bull market ignition. A bet on these narratives or don't miss out. So what we'll do, we'll go one by one. You give me a narrative, I'll give you a narrative, and we'll just take a look at what is going on inside them. So what is your first narrative that you're really excited for?
So it's a Bitcoin ecosystem. Obviously, I said that, I feel like it's a sleeper because everybody's so, paying attention to what's right in front of them in our space, right? Like, so Solana took the spotlight. But when you think about what's happening over in the Bitcoin ecosystem, this hasn't happened before. Yes, there's been building in the ecosystem, but having this many investors come in, this many people trying to solve the pain point, they realize it's a pain point and they're accepting that. And so they're trying to fix that. So I believe there's gonna be a lot of products that roll out, by the end of this year, and then next year as well. So the Bitcoin ecosystem to me is the one I think is gonna be the best opportunity.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. You have stuff like dog, right? And you got, hate it or love it, Ordi is being looked at as a tradable asset from a lot of the bigger traders, the Calios of the world, the Udis of the world. They're all kind of piling in Ordi, and you can see 7 days ago, up 27%, right? Dog's actually down on the 7 day. So it is, you're seeing some big names really kind of push the BRC20 narrative. And, with BRC 2.0, I mean, who knows what could happen, right? So really excited for that for sure. Going down here, solve protocol. You have to remember too, like when you say like Bitcoin ecosystem, are you talking about stuff like DeFi
All of it?
well? Yeah,
all of it.
Yeah.
So, like the layer 2 ecosystem, the BTC Fi, this BTC staking, Fractal's a part of that too.
Really?
So, but it doesn't mean that like everything that is in that ecosystem that I think is gonna like jump up like 100x. That's not what I mean. I mean that like there's gonna be opportunities within it, and it's it's very like large, right? The ecosystem is big now because there's different parts of it that's different. Like you have the layer 1 stuff, you got like the assets, the runes, all those things, and then that's something to be bullish upon. Then you have the builders that are building for that arch network middle. Merlin can do things with those assets on the layer 2 there. And then you have like the whole Lightning area that's getting some attention recently with Sparks, but they're all trying to solve being able to just grow the Bitcoin on-chain economy, even if you're doing it with a scaling solution, because that's typically how you have to do it now. So we'll see what that looks like, you know, a year down the road.
Yeah, 100%, man. I couldn't agree more. I'm gonna go next. I think NFTs and collectibles. I think I don't know why, man. I'm just really bullish on this aspect of growth, but only because like this is one area that the TradFi guys haven't dipped their toe in yet, right? They're in RWA, they're in a lot of different things. You're not really seeing stuff being built in NFT form. And when I say this, I think, you know, I'm thinking like, you know, more of an aspect of growth of taking some TradFi stuff and bringing them in. And a lot of that stuff kind of fits NFT form, right? But what that's going to do, that's going to bring stuff like Pudgy Penguins and IP really to the forefront of a lot of stuff, and decentralized, and, you know, and Sandbox are already building these type of metaverses that, you know, who knows what these TradFi companies could do with these type of metaverses that are kind of already built. What do you think about NFTs and this aspect of potential growth here?
I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity in NFTs. You can see that the rebound started to happen already.
Yeah.
But I think there needs to be more, right? So there needs to be more focus on what can this grow into, right? Like instead of just staring at JPEGs and trying to trade them and stuff. That's cool, like being able to trade them, but like in terms of utility and what does that mean, and like can these communities and hobby communities actually grow out to kind of how hobby communities are in the Web2 world or the tangible world, right? And so I think that we're going to see a lot of transformation happening in that sector, probably the most, in terms of what it looked like before to what it looks like in a couple years down the road, right? But you know, the metaverse thing, that to me is going to have to be like a technology thing, but because we have AI now, it helps a lot. Right. So before we didn't have AI. So it was kind of like, yeah, you could create NPCs and stuff, but yeah, basic game NPCs. How fun is that going to be? Right. So now that you have AI and it's getting better and better, I think that changes the metaverse, you know, the ability and the ease to be able to make it a more enjoyable experience. It's going to be way easier to make it enjoyable because now you can actually interact with an NPC that, you know, is giving you legitimate kind of interaction versus just a video game kind of previous world. Right. So,
yeah. 100%. And I see it as potentially going into the sandbox, right? Maybe there's a casino that's built. You go in, you sit down with the dealer. He's a chatbot. He asks, how's your day going? You know what I mean? You can kind of, it's basically the same conversation you have. I mean, the casino guys, the dealers, they're basically NPCs. At the end of the day, they ask the same question, no matter who you sit down with. They're very similar in the way they speak because they're trained that way. And it's so, I mean, it's going to be the same, in my opinion, it's going to be the same feeling as going to a casino. I think the metaverse is going to be something that's big. It's going to take some time, and I'm really hoping that like a lot of these bigger name companies now, like Rockstar and stuff like that, do come in here and support some of these already built ones, and maybe even buy some. So
yeah.
All right, you want to give me one more?
So we kind of hit on the AI sector there a little bit, but yeah, so
celebrity memes. I know you're big on that.
No celebrity memes, no celebrity memes. But the RWA world, I think, is going to be also one that's really big. I think it's going to be big because it's also kind of similar to the metaverse, to where a lot of people try to you know, push this metaverse narrative without being able to deliver anything tangible. And I think the RWA world is very similar to that, right? So I think that there's going to be like situations to where there's going to be very good products, very good environments for RWA, and we haven't seen anything yet, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And there's going to be part of the NFT sector that I was talking about earlier that gets intertwined with that, meaning that like make these NFTs more usable, more, you know, obviously you're going to have to utilize NFT style of asset with RWA. You know what I mean? So that kind of works hand in hand. So they kind of lift each other up in that sense. So that's what I'm thinking. You know, Ondo could be a very interesting chain once that's out. What is that going to look like? But also not that, you know, RWA can go anywhere, you know, from like a Beanie Baby all the way to, you know, actual bonds and stuff like that, right? The financial instrument type assets. And then you have the tangible collectibles or just anything, right? Anything. And so it's going to be interesting to see where that thrives. But yeah, RWA to me, it's going to be that next big thing.
100%. And I was watching these two guys on TikTok. What they do is they go to Costco and they buy an ounce of gold. Apparently, you can buy an ounce of gold from Costco, and then they take that ounce of gold to pawn shops, and the pawn shops give them 95% of the value. And for some reason, they're able to get it cheaper at Costco and then sell it. So they're making $200 a day.
What?
All they do is they go to Costco in the morning, and then later that day they go to a pawn shop, and they're making the last video I saw, they made $340 and there it was like a win. So that's their job. And there's two dudes. They videotape it, so they're putting it on TikTok, right? It's getting like an insane amount of views. And they go to Costco in the morning and then later that day. But they are getting lucky because the price of gold is rising from the morning to the night. So the price of gold at Costco is it's always like the same price for that. Like they don't constantly change the price of Costco. They put it whatever that day is. So they're kind of going in and getting it cheaper that day, and they're driving. I'm sure there's days where they skip and because the price of gold goes down or whatever. But like I've seen like 9 videos of them making $300-400 when just taking it. Imagine doing that, you know, in NFT form, right? I mean, like an ounce of gold, like Pax Gold or something, and just kind of trading it that way. I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of opportunities, especially on RWA. Yeah,
I agree. I think that's gonna be a huge opportunity. So
Yep. All right. Justin, the Google search trends, right? This is something we're members of videos, but if you type in altcoins, this is really telling, guys. This is really telling here. Look at this. Absolute insanity, bro. What is this telling you? I know we talked about a little bit of members, but if you could just relate like again for everyone else.
Yeah, so you know, if you do a Google search for crypto or altcoins, I believe altcoins gets the same ranking, but like you know, you get right now you get 100 rating back, right? And if you look back at November of last year, that's when the blue chips ran up. I think Solana was going really strong. You had Cardano actually going really well, and Ethereum hit $4,000. But the rating back then when you did the search was 44. So now it's 100 before any of these got back to their all-time highs or strong price points, right? So imagine where we're headed, because retail, that tells me that retail is coming back. And during that same time last year, if you searched Bitcoin returned 100 score because there was a lot of institutions. People were talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be the next huge thing, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if you do a search with Bitcoin, it I think yields like a 60 or 55 or something like that, meaning that the change of hands is starting to happen, right? The rotation is happening. Retail's getting excited because they're doing the Google searches. And if you do Ethereum misspelled, it still brings back like a 90 score. So that means that retail is definitely looking, right?
Yeah.
And so
this is the ultimate indicator, in my opinion. Ethereum spelled wrong. That's the retail indicator for sure.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, so that got me really excited just looking at that, and the fact that Ethereum is yielding like 100 score right now, if you know when you spell it correctly, is crazy. So
yeah. Yes, sir. Really excited for the next couple weeks, man, especially. All right, let's jump into topics today. So here's a quick look at some of the biggest names reporting earnings. This is a huge week for earnings. I was listening to Stock Guys this morning. They were talking about this week is the ultimate week for earnings. They have Tesla, Google. So it's Tesla, it's Google, it's Coca-Cola, it's IBM, it's GM. Let me ask you, do any of these companies report that they bought Bitcoin or Ethereum in this earnings report coming this week?
Maybe Tesla.
Yeah, I'm thinking
but
Tesla.
I don't think any of the other ones, just because I feel like they're very traditional. Google would be one of the only ones maybe out of the IBM. Is even old though. They're old, like they're like Microsoft. But do they in the future? Probably at some point, if Bitcoin gets to a certain, continues this trajectory, I can't imagine they wouldn't. Like General Motors, I don't think they would at this point. Coca-Cola, probably not. Google would, and Tesla are the ones that I'm thinking maybe, and more Tesla. But yeah, that's kind of how I view it. In the future, things could change though. Some of these old legacy companies, even though they create such crazy revenue and their valuations are so high, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer that they're gonna have to come to a decision to say either, if not Bitcoin, then another one, Ethereum or something, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it depends on their cash reserves, right? Because now you're seeing this beautiful new bill come in, but what does it do? It potentially adds $3-4 trillion to the deficit, which basically means that they're going to print a whole bunch of money, which basically means that if you're holding money in dollars, it's going to drop against everything else. So I can see a company like Coca-Cola saying, hey, we're going to put half of our treasury into Bitcoin because we're holding it long term anyway. So, or something like or General Motors, for instance, right? Just saying, hey, we are scared to hold dollars right now, and I think everyone should be. And you're seeing the DXY drop. I mean, everyone should be afraid. If your net worth is 100% dollars, you're in trouble. I truly believe that.
Yeah, but the DXY drops every 4 years though, right, during this time. But if it goes on an aggressive continuous, that's where I think people will start to panic. But I don't think that the government will allow that. But you're right. Zooming out, it's no brainer that it's the opposite of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a reverse Bitcoin trade being in dollars.
exactly.
All right. President Trump signs Genius Act into law. He did that on Friday. Absolutely amazing. Bassett says blockchain technologies will power the next generation of payments, and U.S. dollar and is coming on chain. And then President Trump comes out and says the financial system is decades out of date, and crypto fixes this. And this all leads up to White House to release its first crypto policy report this week on July 22nd, as required by EO 114-178. So they're going to come out. This is going to be David Sachs's moment. He's going to come out and say, hey, we promised 90 days ago that we were going to come out and kind of give an idea of what's going on. The stuff that is in there, they're saying, is the establishment of a strategic U.S. Bitcoin reserve. Remember we were talking about that? That kind of went away, but it's all going to come into fruition tomorrow, potentially, when they come out and report this. In that bill, a ban on members of Congress issuing their own stablecoins, aimed at preventing conflicts of interest and ensuring impartial rulemaking. And the final thing that potentially is in that thing for tomorrow policy is detailed stablecoin guidelines mandating transparency, reserve requirements, and enhanced consumer protection measures for the dollar peg token. So the bill went through, but now they have to come out and they have to make sure that everyone is aware of what is in that bill, and so that's this whole policy that's dropping tomorrow. What do you think about all this?
Yeah, this is obviously needed, right? Because the industry needs to know exactly what's happening. Most obviously, the big players they've gone through this like multiple times. They've had their departments go through it, but I think it's really good for clarity to break it down, right? Because there's some rules in there that you're hearing get leaked out that you're like, wow, I didn't really realize that. In terms of like the yield, can't give your customers yield if you're a stablecoin issuer. I think that had more to do with the banks not wanting to compete too much, right, with these new companies propping up or old companies that have a lot of capital. And so, yeah, so this is going to be just kind of that first publicly public step for clarity for our space, right? So this is a big deal.
Yeah. And it's been a while since we heard from David Sachs, right? He was on the All In podcast this weekend. He used to be a full-time guest, and now he's kind of like part-time guest. And he came on and he was kind of talking about, what's going to happen. That it was taped on Thursday, so it wasn't like everything wasn't out yet and stuff like that. So it's going to be really nice to hear after this bill. He apparently worked so hard to get this pushed in. He was the one. He was going to congressmen houses and kind of talking to them personally, like, hey, this is what we need from you and stuff like that. And this is what this is all about. Especially the ones that voted no, he met with them in private like rooms and stuff like that to make sure that they understood exactly what everything meant, which was really awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along here. Trump-backed WillFi will impose a vesting schedule on public sale tokens. The team says the SEX listing and DeFi options are coming. So we do know that WillFi did pass. It will be traded it will be traded normally, but now they're going to be putting a vesting schedule because the one thing they're afraid of is the WillFi token being insanely valued because a lot of people who didn't want a KYC weren't able to get into this pre-sale. If you had a full KYC to get into this pre-sale. So they want to make sure that people aren't just dumping the tokens onto the market. So they're creating vesting schedules for the WillFi holders, Justin Sun being one of the largest.
Yeah, Justin Sun kind of receiving this, right? And in my opinion, is like another thing that goes onto his like award wall, I guess you could say. You know, he's been heavily involved here, but like WolfEye is going to be huge in my opinion. It's going to be like the probably the biggest. I think it could be one of the biggest like crypto companies in like 5-10 years if they manage it correctly, right? And they don't get too greedy and you know they handle it like build their book of business continually as well. But this is a new world for them as well, kind of, right? Now they obviously hired really experienced team members and stuff like that, but do you think it could be like one of the top crypto companies?
Yeah, I do, because what they're going to allow you to do too, the rumor has it they're going to be purchasing companies and DeFi protocols and stuff like that, to where you don't need to go and buy Aave. You can potentially just buy WolfEye. You don't need, or let's just say you want to. There's a brand new company that just drops. It's an amazing crypto company. It's let's just say it's doesn't have a coin, and it's it's not publicly traded, so it's private. They're gonna be able to buy that, and then you can have access to, if that flies up, the WolfEye token will fly up, right? So it kind of gives people access to these private companies you just by buying the WLFI token.
Yeah, the thing too is like the everyday person didn't necessarily get like too much opportunity to get into that, right? Correct?
Yeah,
Or
no.
am I wrong?
Well, you just had a KYC. If you were comfortable KYCing, you were eligible.
Eligible, but like, did you also have to go through kind of like a lottery as well, or was it you could have bought
No,
if you KYC? Okay, well then
it
I
was
think that's
it was a limit of buying. Crypto Slow got in.
gotcha. Okay, cool. So then I think that's awesome then. As long as they offered it to the public, even if you had to KYC, I think
Yeah.
at this point we got to probably expect that with the big companies. But the fact that they're going to have centralized exchanges coming and stuff like that, we knew that would happen. They have the money, so it could be a really dominant token, because you're talking about like a really strong entity in the future.
100%. Really excited. I'm really excited for. I think this is such a big thing for our space, man. That they're a part of it, and that they're potentially have an index fund there. Move along here. Trump Media amassed $2 billion in Bitcoin and BTC related assets, making up 2/3 of its $3 billion liquid holdings. So Trump Media again. They're just buying up Bitcoin, but MicroStrategy comes in and they bought 6,220 Bitcoin worth $739 million. They haven't bought in 3 weeks. This is the first time they bought in a while, so it does look like they're well over 607,000 now.
Dude, like they're getting closer and closer to a million, right? I mean, I know we got 400,000 left, but it seems to be the goal. They're just going to continually acquire. So, and they're going to keep buying, even though Bitcoin's price is going to be 200,000 at someday, right? I don't know how aggressive they will, continue to buy, though. That's the thing that I think about in the future. I mean, getting to a million seems like they're not that far, right? But once Bitcoin is 250,000, it's going to seem further, even if they get to 700,000 before then, but this is crazy. This is history too. This is going to be in the history books.
It's crazy. Yeah, 100%. But then you got something like SharpLink purchased 4,900 Ethereum. They're purchasing every day, dude. Every day they're purchasing. Well, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and the ETH inflows are starting to really compete with Bitcoin's inflows, by the way.
Yeah.
And so, I know that this is not the ETF; they're just acquiring ETH, but they are basically trying to make a statement. Hey, we're the MicroStrategy of Ethereum, right? I know they have some competition, but so far they seem to be leading the way. But I'm just saying, as an asset in general, I think they made a right decision here because, like I said, the ETH ETF inflows, they're starting to compete. They're getting closer and closer. Now, I don't think they won't catch up. I don't think. Maybe they will. Who knows? But in terms of ETH as an asset, man, it looks really good right now.
Yeah, 100%, dude. But then you have stuff like this. This happened on Friday. We didn't get a chance to talk about it, but the MEI Pharma, this is a pharmaceutical company. They raised $100 million to launch a Litecoin treasury strategy, becoming the first publicly traded company to hold Litecoin. What? Why? Why would you do that?
Interesting. Man, I don't know. When you do zoom out, I mean, like it's sustained its value. It hasn't really accelerated a ton, right? But it's obviously increases over time when you zoom out, but it's just weird that they picked that. I mean, $100 million is a lot of money. Maybe they know something the public doesn't. There's something that Litecoin's working on in terms of a lot of partnerships or something with payments. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It pushed up. This is the daily. So Friday was the announcement. It pushed up Litecoin. I mean, Litecoin was before this announcement $100. Now it's 118. So it's up 18% since that, right? Since this went live. So I mean, can Litecoin? I mean, the all-time high for Litecoin. I'm not even sure. Oh crap. Okay. All right. It's super high. It's like $400. Wow. So it has 75% of the chance.
What year was that though?
Right. Yeah, let's take a look. It had to be
17 at peak. No.
Yeah.
When was it?
Yeah, December 2017.
Yeah, so I think it.
Oh, it actually hit it though.
Yeah, it did. Okay, yeah, so it did go a little bit higher the first time up.
But yeah. I mean, if 100 million turns into 400 million, right? That's a win.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you have the data there that shows that it did hit a new all-time high every cycle, even if it didn't come back up in November because it hit it in April of 2021. So I think they're probably saying, hey, look, this could be just like a cycle play, maybe. I'm not sure, but they're saying, hey, at least we'll probably get a little bit higher than the all-time high, and maybe because it swung back down so hard, they look at that as a value play. I'm not sure. I got to do more research, but it did make me raise my eyebrows when I saw this banner.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's nuts. We'll see. I mean, honestly, I think you can throw a dart in crypto right now and make money. Like maybe that's just me.
You think we're there already?
But so right now, if your time span 6 months, 6 to 12 months, I feel like you can throw a dart at anything in crypto and make money. I think that we're in the very early stages of a bull run.
Yeah.
So. All right, Ethena Foundation to spin up a SPAC called StablecoinX, dedicated to buying millions worth of ENA, which is the Ethena token. What do you think about this? So we've seen the hype. So apparently, the Hype Foundation had nothing to do with that publicly traded company. It was just people that were they just bullish on hype. But what do you think about foundations now going in, creating these publicly traded companies or SPACs, and basically buying the token with it, raising money and buying the token with it? It's nuts.
I'm a little bit worried about this because I'm starting to see this more and more. I feel like, dude, this is like a degen way to like launch a token. It's like TradFi, right? It's like, all right, we're gonna raise money, we're gonna fire up a SPAC, and SPACs already kind of had a little bit of a
no, they were
side eye from the regular institutional people, but. Again, they were a part of the game, right? So I think they saw some people benefit from this and be able to raise money, and they're like, "Hey, why not?" So we'll probably see more and more of this. Well, but the problem is this going to cause problems? Maybe down the line. But I think because everybody in the traditional financial world knows that you're gambling with the SPAC, then maybe it won't be that big of a deal than I'm saying, because they'll be like, okay, well, I'm willing to take a risk here. It's, high risk, high reward type of situation. Let's see what happens. So maybe in the very start, a lot of these do very well, because they're just the beginning ones, right? And then eventually it gets to the point to where you got like this like cartoon NFT collection starting to spin up their own SPAC for the foundation, and then you're like, okay, no one's gonna buy that.
I mean, if you have $100 million, you can do whatever you want. That's what the stock market's telling you, right?
Yeah.
So you can basically, I mean, it's getting degen, but to this point here, the only reason why this stuff is popular is because we don't have ETFs. If the SEC would just open up the ETF market to a lot of these crypto, I mean, I'm not talking about every crypto, right? But like Athena's been around a little while now, and TAO, for instance, right? So Nasdaq listed TAO Synergies buys 10 million in Bittensor tokens for treasury. So this is one that we must have missed this. I think Alpha Gamer, shout out to Alpha Gamer, was telling us about this. But TAO Synergies is a publicly traded SPAC that took over this TAO buying company, I guess. I don't know. But what do you think about this, man? Another one. Now TAO has one. Hype has one. Ethena has one. I mean, this is getting crazy.
But it follows suit with like how the crypto space has been. It's like all right, when one narrative starts to take off and it does well, then everybody kind of copies that narrative, right? And I kind of feel like that's what's happening here. Is kind of everybody's just following, okay, these treasury companies, they're doing well, they're getting money. All right, we're gonna copy that. These SPACs, they're doing well, they're raising money. We're gonna copy that. This is, in my opinion, this is the crypto playbook, dude.
Yeah,
the crypto playbook.
But if this isn't screaming bull run, this stuff only happens in a bull run, right? This is screaming to me, hey, it started. It has started. Maybe we're a month in and we didn't even realize it, right? So, but all right. So the CEO of Kraken had this insane post. I mean, talking about it probably about 6 hours ago from right now. He posted this. So this is the CEO of Kraken posting who's next. And we do know this is Magic Internet Money. This is Bro Bear. This is Pups. This is $1 Billion Cat or Billy. This is Gizmo. And then this is potentially Seiko Hamster. But what is this? What is this telling you, bro? And then hold on real quick. On top of that, Bill King, who is the head of organic growth at Kraken, he changed his PFP to this Magic Internet Money picture here. What I mean, dude, what is going on?
Yeah, dude, they love Mim, by the way. They're constantly talking about the wizard and stuff, which is actually cool. Magic Internet Money actually has really strong lore and a history behind it. But this tells me that they're trying to make people guess who's next, right? Out of this shadowed image that we all can pretty much see who these people are, or these figures are, right? The only one that we were a little confused on, I think we got a little help with that, is the Psycho Hamster there at the top, right? So but I don't know if they're going to be listing multiple at once, or they're saying who are we going to pick next? Like, which one of these are going to be next? So that's where I'm trying to figure out.
I don't see Lobo on here, which is weird, right? Because
that is weird. That is very weird. But also, the fact that Lobo isn't on there, does that mean that like all these will eventually be on there? Because Lobo's not on there. I would think it would be a part of that. Or did they just grab an image and pretty much shadow it out? That of popular rooms. And
this kind of looks like it was drawn, like hand drawn, because the images are way off from the real ones, right? It seems like somebody was sitting there and just hand drawing these things. But yeah, I don't know. I'm actually thinking they list all 6 here at once.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow.
Because you don't want to pick a winner. Like you pick Dog as a winner. Dog's a winner. But do you really want to pick a winner from the rest of them? I don't think you want to like do that. But if you put 6 up at one time, you're not picking any winner. You're kind of saying, here, you guys choose the winner.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, you do make the listing event special whenever you do pick, right? So that's a little bit of a difference. But I think probably they do maybe a couple at a time. The problem is if they, let's say they just like do these plus Lobo, that's 7, right? Total.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of stop for a long time until like these runes start to, prove themselves. You could actually have communities come over here and try to push to get on Kraken and stuff like that. So we'll see what this does. Obviously, Kraken's influence has been great for runes. The fact that they've really committed to the runes ecosystem and the Bitcoin ecosystem, really. We'll see what this ends up being, but it could be something huge. Again, like it's, Kraken has a big opportunity to make a huge splash this cycle.
Yeah, 100%, dude. It's really cool to just kind of go down and kind of seeing all the $1 billion cats and everything. I don't know what this is. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. The elephant in the rune. I like it. That's
pretty
bro.
funny.
I like it.
I'm not gonna lie.
I know. It's like 300K market cap, and I was looking at it. I don't know what the hell this one is. Stay away from that one.
Yeah, no good. No good.
And then you had David Gockstein, somebody who's well known in the Bitcoin community. So I talked about Dog when it first dropped because I've been bullish on Bitcoin meme coins from day one, and the community is straight up relentless. I mean, this is a guy with over 200,000 followers tweeting this. I mean, I think the entire runes ecosystem is about to go absolutely ballistic, and I think that this test over the last 7 days, like you go to the 7-day and you go down to price here. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I mean, this one, Notice Me Senpa, It has a check mark. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's up
Senpai.
238%. Senpai,
Yeah.
wishy-washy machine, 775%. I mean, a lot of these tokens are flying up right now. You do have Gizmo up 104%, like Arcane Cat Bus, another one that's up 100%. Pups 70%. And this is a 7-day. This is not like this year. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, we'll see if it continues, right? We've seen runs with runes and it stalls, but you know,
Does.
if some of these other ones start to really show actual volume, then I think we have something here, right?
Yeah.
Volume definitely needs to increase, keep increasing, but we're still in the early days right now. I mean, those ones that you just mentioned, you're talking about like anywhere between $2,000 to $10,000, you know, single day buys, but
Yeah.
it's better than zero because I'm telling
Yeah.
you, all these were zero at one point.
100%. All right. Let's kind of get into the crypto fear and greed here. Let me find this banner. There it is. All right. So last week we were at a 70. Yesterday we were at 68. We are not far from that 68 on the.
Seven.
I'm gonna give you a hint.
Back at 70.
No. So we're yesterday 68. So we're either 67 or 69. Guess.
67.
Boom. Right on the nose. You got it.
Okay.
So I do feel like this should be higher. I feel like we should. I mean, I'm about to run through a freaking wall right now. How bullish I am, and for us to be only at 67, this is the most bullish number I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I'm so bullish, and this thing's only 67.
Yeah. Well, also, you know, Saturday, all day Saturday was kind of choppy with downside. And then Sunday came around and Sunday morning kind of changed things. So yeah, I'm a bit surprised because I would think that, you know, later in the day we'd get a little bit higher reading than Saturday. But 67, yeah, definitely bullish because that means that the excitement's being suppressed somehow.
Well, it's kind of just shows you we have room to go. Like,
Yeah.
Ethereum at all-time high would probably just put this thing to 75 or 80, right? What happened? There's a lot of room to run, is all I'm saying, because the fear and greed index is a clear indicator of when you sell. If this thing stays at 99 for like 4 days straight, just know that something's coming, right? I mean, it's just very similar to what we had in 2021, where it was like a month of the 90s, and then that was kind of like the top, right? So but being at 67 just shows me that, you know, bro, this chart is showing me that this is the ultimate bull sign right here. 67.
Yeah.
And everything's
Well, so when do you think that the rest of the alt market really starts to pick things up? Because you know, you still have Ethereum at like 3,800, which is, you know, obviously so much better than it was, but you see kind of some of these other alts just barely kind of showing a little bit of a jump here. Do you think ETH has to get to an all-time high and then things run, or do you think getting to 4,000, that's the number?
I think the early people are going to be getting in at 4,100 on a lot of the alts, and the late people are going to get in when you know, Ethereum's at 6,000, right? And but then I still think even the late people, when Ethereum's at 6,000, who are buying the altcoins then, are going to make out really well. I just think that the early people are getting in now, and then people are, you know, a lot of people like Benjamin Cohen, for instance, he said he'll get bullish on Ethereum once it passes 4,100, right? What does that tell me? I mean, that means, you know, potentially price discovery, $8,000 Ethereum, but potentially the end of this year, just from people like him who have big money, who are probably going to rotate from Bitcoin to ETH at 4,100. Think about that for a second, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to send it to price discovery. And when ETH's in price discovery, floating past that 5,000, I mean, dude, it might get absolutely insane.
And he's a person that doesn't use words just to use words. And
No.
so the fact that you can tell in his posts that he's, I don't want to say conceding because it's not like he was like so against Ethereum, but like it like he's acknowledging, I should say, that Ethereum is looking strong right now. He's acknowledged it multiple times. And, you know, for him to say that should get me, I think, people bullish because, you know, he's a guy that doesn't, like I said, he doesn't use words just to use words.
Does not, dude. 100%, man. Let's get into the Bitcoin price action. Let's find out what is going on. I should say Bitcoin and crypto price action. And we're going to get into some crypto bubbles as well. But this is all powered by Artura.finance, guys. Artura is live. You know, they did have a little bit of a pause last night because they're actually putting through an update, but really excited for these guys, man. Go over to Artura.finance, get ready. We put out a video on Friday. Go watch that video. It kind of walks you through the entire process of getting PUSD and then getting and playing with Artura.finance, guys. And on top of that, right, by using Artura.finance, you're actually going to be earning some Bitcoin from Botonix. They're incentivizing the chain with Bitcoin. Free Bitcoin, guys, free Bitcoin by using the spider chain, and that is Botonix. And, you know, who knows what Artura is going to be doing with their point system. Really excited for that as well. So get some points from Artura, get some Bitcoin from Botonix, and be happy with free money. And that's Artura Finance.
Absolutely. Super excited to start using that platform on the regular. But before we get into some Bitcoin price action, let's ask you guys to help us out on the YouTube side. Smash that like and then sub to the channel. Turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, let's share the space, guys. We really appreciate it. Hit that like as well on the X side. And then Abstract as well, if you wouldn't mind sharing that stream link. We would greatly appreciate it. Let's jump into some price action here. I'm gonna change this real quick and then we'll start with Bitcoin, but I just want to get that ready. All right, so Bitcoin, what is happening? Well, the excitement all seems to be focused on Ethereum, right? Bitcoin is still ranging between 117 to 120 is kind of what we're seeing. But I do think eventually, maybe like at the end of August, we'll see another strong rise up. Maybe middle of August, we'll see another leg up here. But until then, I think it's Ethereum's time to shine. But let's take a look at the price action for Bitcoin. So you can see we're just ranging back and forth here, right? You can see the MACD is showing exhaustion on the buy side. We could see a little bit of a chop trend to the downside. And also just to kind of note, if Ethereum's not like has a lot of energy at that moment, it does still kind of look to Bitcoin. It's not fully detached yet. So if that's the case, we probably should expect a little bit of a chop trend downside for ETH as well. But for the hour here, let's take a look at some of the support and resistance levels from the VRVP starting at 5 a.m. this morning. Let's see here. So right at the 118,500, perfectly right there. You can see that the resistance is a little bit overpowering the support there. Above that, though, we kind of take it back, right? So if we get to 118,600, I think we can, try to turn around the momentum, because above that as well, we're kind of more even. And then we have the advantage above that. So as long as we can get back to that 118.5 or about 600, I think we can kind of push this back up, but it seems like it wants to go further down, and that makes sense. You can see right here, the resistance is overpowering. So we got to get through 2 levels up here, but it's okay because we got support down here. So it's going to be a little bit choppy is what I'm saying. I expect chop 118 to 119 in between. So up and down is what I'm thinking. Probably, start, the next 2, 4, 6 hours, a little bit more with a downtrend here. So that's what I'm seeing on the hour chart. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart looks like it's ready to pop. We've been in, sell pressure for a long time for Bitcoin for the 4-hour Saturday since 3 p.m. with very little buy pressure moments, right? But again, we haven't shown too much of a hardcore dump or anything like that, right? Obviously, if you're going to this all-time high that we had at 123, it's going to look like that, but we're just kind of creating this diamond pattern almost. If you look here, right? And typically this will jump up eventually, but this is the 4-hour chart, so it might take a long time for that to happen. So just something to kind of keep your mind on for the 4-hour. But the 4-hour looks like it wants to come out of the sell pressure, but we do need some shorter term price action to the upside. We'll see if we can get that for the hour chart. Taking a look here on the daily does look exhausted for Bitcoin. So this is going to be a big test. If Bitcoin starts to dump on the daily chart, not hard, but downtrend, let's say we get back to 116, 113, something like that. What happens with Ethereum? I think we got to really pay attention here, because if this starts to go down, Ethereum really truly starts to outperform Bitcoin even more, to the point where it starts to detach a little bit. Then I think that's another sign that some of these alts probably start to get a bit stronger. But on the daily chart, though, it does look like it's exhausting here. We'll see if we lose the advantage for Bitcoin at least. And if we do, I still don't think it will be anything like this sell pressure. I think it will be very, weak, but it could get us back to 113, maybe a little bit less. We'll see. But again, we got to pay attention to Ethereum to see what, how it responds to that, to kind of let us know where we are in the cycle. And then taking a look at the weekly looks great. Setup looks great. MACD looks good. Everything looks really good with the weekly. Yes, we did have, I think, one of our first last week we had a red candle, the first one in 4 weeks in the month, but that's okay. We'll see how we end this week. So far, so good. We're back in the green. But yeah, the setup looks good. Again, if we get a small red candle and Ethereum's thriving, we're just where we want to be in the cycle. So something to pay attention to. Let's take a look at the others. The others looking good. Finally, right? Get to breathe a little bit, not necessarily following Bitcoin, as it did previously, starting to look to, Ethereum for guidance now, which is great. This is where we want it to be. So the others is everything besides Bitcoin and the top 10, which includes Ethereum, but it will look towards Ethereum once Ethereum does detach fully. And it looks like it's already starting to look towards it, because we did finish the week with a green candle, a nice green candle too. We'll see if we can continue this. This getting stronger is obviously going to be an exciting time, because that means that your alts that you guys have your bags packed with will be thriving. And look, I think there's going to be 2 moments of that thriving, right? Like the first kind of kick up a bit, and then a little pause before Q4, and then another one. But that's what we're seeing right now on the others for the weekly. Let's take a look at the crypto bubbles. The crypto bubbles look really good. I bet you there's a little bit more red if we look at the hour. Let's take a look. Yeah. A little bit more red, just because we started the day off really strong, and then kind of pulling back a little bit makes a little bit of sense. We had a short squeeze yesterday with Ethereum, and it did run up pretty strong. And then today, I think basically, that 3,800 was that kind of threshold that I felt like a lot of people were talking a lot about. They're like, okay, can we blast through 3,800? Will we have trouble getting through 3,800? Then there was a couple of people that had like the Fibonacci level at 38, 32, and said that like if we could push past that, then we shouldn't really see too much resistance until we get into the 4,000s. But we did push up to 3850 today. Now, we didn't like run past it. I think we actually touched 3860. Getting through 3,800 and really getting to the 44,000 and 4,100, I think is really when these alts will really start to pick up some strength, and it's going to be more of the blue chip stuff, obviously. But then maybe it trickles down even further. But taking a look here, let's go to the
real quick with Hex though. Hex is 100% a retail driven token, because you can't buy that on exchanges or anything like that. So when Hex moves like that, that just shows me that retail is here. That's really exciting to see. You guys got to look for tokens that aren't on exchanges, that only retail can buy, and you can really get a sense, especially with runes, right? Really get a sense of what retail is thinking for sure. I mean, they're coming back. It's slow, but they're coming back.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's take a look here at the top 100. Let's start with the memes here. Pingu up 17.2%. So Pingu was actually struggling a bit, I would say, the past half a week, but that's after like a really large run up. So it's kind of, it's worked its way back up for sure. So it's up 17.2%. Radium, let's go to the other memes here. Trump up 9.9%. Doge up almost 12%. And you know, a lot of people are starting to talk about Doge again. Let's see what else we have here. Meanwhile, Sheeb up 4%, Bonk up 2.5%. SPX pulled back 3.2%. This might be one to kind of take a look at, because typically SPX or Fartcoin, when they pull back, they usually have a pretty strong pull up. So something to think about. What else? We have Fartcoin up 5.7%. So that's good. Pump still down 2.9% here. Looking at some utility stuff, we got Radium up 9.9%, Ondo up 3.4%, Caspa up 4.8%, Virtuals up 3.3%, Solana up 8.3%, MakerDAO up 3.3%, Render up 3.4%, PancakeSwap up 2.5%, AVAX up 2.7%. We got ICP up 2%, Jasmy up 7.6%, and Aerodrome up 3.7%. Cardano bouncing back up 5.1%. Ethereum up 1.2%. And then Pith up 6.1% as well. Let's take a look here at the top 200. All right, starting again with the memes here. Dog down 1.6%. So Dog pulled back, but some of the other runes definitely saw a jump up here. But I'm not worried about Dog. Dog's gonna definitely come back. It's just kind of little slight pullback there. Popcat down or up 6.2%. What else do we have in here? Turbo down 2.3%. Mew up 3.5%. Isn't that a Pokemon? Mew.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What else do we have? Peanut up 6.4%. All right, taking a look here at the utility stuff. Syrup, which is the Maple token, up or down 4%. Pulse X up 7.1%. You got Core, which is a Bitcoin layer 2, up 10.5%. What else? ZBCN up 14.4%, and then a Starknet up 3.5%. So all in all, I feel like we're in a pretty good, mix right now. It's about 85% green, 15% kind of a little bit of a pullback, but I think we're in a healthy spot.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude. I feel like this is really, I mean, it's Monday, right? It's Monday. Like, what's going to happen the rest of the week? I think Monday's really good, setting the tone. And I think we could have a really, really bullish next couple of days, especially because there's no real big things happening. There's no CPI, there's no Fed meeting, there's nothing, right? So there's nothing that could actually knock us down. We're going to stay bullish all week. But let's jump into the roll call here. Let's see who is here on this channel. We do a big thing called First is First, and we track the first comment. Shout out to Hillbilly, my guy. Let's go. I'm so happy for you, man. You actually make the chart today for the first time ever. Your first win of the year. I think it's your first year. Yeah, your first win of the year. Yep. Congratulations to you, my friend. You got win number 1 on the year. Guys, you definitely want to make this. So we're going to do something nice for everyone who's on this list. I highly recommend you guys be on this list. But shout out to Hillbilly, just joined. Lackey Lukey and Webdro are winning 38-34. That is the battle there. Danny Boy right there, though, with 26. So anyone's game still. Remember, we have still another 100 days left in the year. This is anyone's game, but definitely shout out to everyone who makes this list. I jumped to the rest of the comments here. We got Pixel. Shout out to Pixel with a dog comment. Thank you so much for being here today. Webdro is here. Hydro Sapien is here. Webdro says number go up. I mean, Hydro Sapien says number go up. Yes, sir. Lackey Lukey says congrats, Hillbilly. Rare Sats Dom is here. Diamond Narratives Strong Arm. Let's go. Merlin's lucky every single day, you guys, man. Greater Sats is here. Shout out the Alpha channel. Thank you so much, bro. Really appreciate that. No is here. No. What a GM. Hillbilly says, damn, what a start to the week. 100%, brother. 100%. Bitcoin is Truth is here. Yo, GM guys. Abstract says bull market is here. What should I buy? What should he buy, bro? What should he buy?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff out there, different levels of risk as well. But yeah.
K99 says, what's up, guys? Chips and Dip is here. Should I be worried about the pump? Too bullish? What do you think?
I mean, look where we are in the cycle. We're in the summer before Q4 of the cycle year. So I would look at that and look at some of the trends. And the trends that we are noticing is that the rotation is starting to happen to Ethereum. So you put 2 and 2 together from that. Yeah,
100%. Spindrift says, looking forward to the show all weekend. A TGI Monday. Yeah, let's go. Thank God it's Monday. Vader Time is here. It's bull run time. Crypto Winners here. What's up, Shizzy and Yagobi? What's up, Crypto Winner? Glasshopper is here. Good morning. Good morning, Glasshopper. Chief Axel is here. Shout out to Chief Axel. Or Doucher is here. My guy says Rockstar needs puppets for sure. Could you imagine if Rockstar had like a puppet T-shirt or something in the game that you could purchase? That'd be wild.
That would be crazy.
Mogar is here. Shout out to Mogar says GM guys and girls. I think it's all guys. I check every now and then. I'll check the analytics of the guys, girls, and it's like 95% dudes. But it's all good. It's all good. Dudes are just more riskier than females, right? And our channel is very risk on. Tim Baker says fire. Shout out to Tim Baker, AOD Art, by the way, my guy. Superfan, GM, my guy. Thank you so much for hopping in every single day, Superfan. Parked is here. It's been a while, Parked. Packard, my guy. Appreciate you. Erdrick says tap subnet tutorial in the future. I don't know, man.
What do they?
Subnets.
Did they have subnet? I thought that said TAO at first.
Oh, okay. His next one was TAO. Okay, he says TAO subnets tutorial soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm. So it's just me battling time. I definitely want to do that. But some of the subnets got wrecked, so I'm kind of glad I haven't done them yet. So I'm gonna look into some of them. I definitely will. Hillbilly says that I subscribe to Ben. He means Benjamin Cohen, and he's saying ETH to 6K by end of the year. I mean, I think that is very fair. I think Benjamin Cohen's always someone who's very
Conservative.
Conservative, very conservative, 100%. Stan says, is ETH's price appreciation a win for proof of stake? Is the channel bullish on proof of stake or POW? So I'm gonna say something controversial. I love proof of stake. I love proof of stake more than I love POW, because POW, you need a lot of it. Only the big guys win, right? Only the people who have like $100,000 or more can actually succeed in proof of work, right? Like I've never mined anything, right? That wasn't, anything really. But I did proof of stake on Cosmos, on Polkadot. Never done it for Ethereum yet, but because you need 32 ETH to be able to do that. But I don't know, man. What about you?
I think it's the concept itself is tricky because the asset, it has to be strong. The underlying asset has to be strong, and whenever you're doing proof of work, even with like a new proof of work asset or something like Caspa, for example, the whole point is that you're putting energy out there to earn this token, right? So that's why I think a lot of people like it, and the security behind it too, the security model and all that stuff. But you have to admit that when there is a strong asset and the demand is there, that proof of stake is the most attractive thing at that moment. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's sexier because you know what you're getting back. You know what I mean? And how much you have to put into it is not that much, other than the monetary value.
Well, that's the thing though. Like me and you can't do proof of work though, but we can both do proof of stake today. So I think that's like the biggest thing for me. But I think the on ramp is a lot easier. Cash Cats is here with the coffee and the donuts and the dog. Go to the moon. Shout out to Cash Cats. Appreciate you, my friend. Erdrick says Inc. may not show a bubble if PLSX and Hex are up. Inc. could do something. So Inc. is the reward token for staking PLX. I could be wrong. I think for the liquidity pools on PulseX, I think you need. It's been a while since I've been over there, but you're earning this Inc. But I'm not even sure what it is. It's apparently like a reward token, but yeah, if you could explain that, Erdrick, I would. I'll look into that after the show as well. And then Hillbilly says finally made it, and appreciate every single one of you guys who makes roll call each and every day. Absolutely amazing, every single one of you guys, man. We got 314 people in here live with us right now. Really appreciate every single one of you guys, man. Let's hop over to our next segment. So every week we like to showcase one of our good friends, and that friend today is the guys from Merlinchain. Merlinchain. These guys are building something really special. They are building, potentially the biggest DeFi AI project ever. And it's a chain, right? So really excited for what Merlinchain brings to the table, right?
Yeah. And it's not just the AI aspect. That's really cool what they're doing with the wizard, but it's more of the innovative approach to kick things off with the Bitcoin layer 2 movement, right? And it was in 2024, early 2024, being able to do things with Bitcoin layer 1 assets that we were never able to do before, then kind of moving on to like this, not moving on completely, you can still do that. But the BTC Fi, really starting that, and the chain abstraction. Now the AI is coming in, and I think what they have coming up with this new initiative is going to be huge, and it's perfect timing. And for all those people that may have been like saying, "Oh, I've been waiting for Merlin," in terms of like price appreciation, all that stuff. Look, man, you have to appreciate the innovation, and typically when innovation is good, and I expect what they're about to roll out to be really strong heading into Q4, that other stuff kind of follows. You know what I mean? So I'm excited.
100%. And this is the only channel where you get the leader of the Merlinchain ecosystem get to hear from him every single week, and really appreciate that. But let's bring him up. Jeff, welcome back to OnChain Revolution.
Hey guys,
how are you doing?
Sorry, just replying a message. Actually not feeling too well today, but I think I can hear around for like 20 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no worries, no worries. We appreciate you hanging out with us in the audience here. We know you're super busy, but let's get right into it then. Obviously, it seems like Ethereum's taking off and trying to do its own thing. You guys are planning for this next phase, the second half of this year. There's this big initiative. Could you kind of get into that and just explain? I know we touched on it lightly last time, but love to hear what maybe some more in-depth plans you have with it.
Yeah, can you guys open the Medium link so we can have the screen shared? And,
let me go ahead and do that. All right. Oh shoot!
Sorry,
not that one.
Yeah, go to the Twitter.
Sorry, I thought you meant that one. Okay, let me get there.
Yeah, it's fine.
The Merlin Medium link. It's on your Twitter.
Yeah,
okay, I'll pull that up.
Twitter, yeah. But yeah, I think the market is pretty good right now. Even NFT is going really high. No matter Ethereum NFT or Ordinals, I believe you guys covered, but all this Temporal Wizard, no monks, the puppets, everything is going up.
Yeah. So do you feel like this is actually the first baby steps to something where we've been waiting for, like alts can benefit from what we're about to head into?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you check the news, everything is bullish on altcoins. I just got a notification that another company bought, I don't know, like $200 million worth of Solana. So there are lots of like companies on Nasdaq buying crypto assets, and not only Bitcoin anymore, but also Solana, BNB, Ethereum, like all these altcoins. I think Tron, they bought a company as well. They're going IPO like 2 days later. So yeah, everything is like good news right now for the altcoins. Yeah, so that Medium. Yeah, so basically we try to roll out the idea of Merlinchain 2.0 because we started like last year. It's about 1.5 years later. We kind of pivoted a little bit. Still focused on Bitcoin. Still delivering BTC 5, but also we want to adding chain abstraction and AI, so the users can hold, earn, and invest. We talked about that like before. The first paragraph is about what we did, what we contribute to the Bitcoin ecosystems. Basically, we had like lots of Bitcoin bridging and bridge out. We have lots of Bitcoin on all the other chains to provide liquidity. We had many creative, innovative protocols like Bedrock, Solve, Avalon, Babylon's there too. We bridged all these Bitcoin to other chains. And that is what we did, to summarize what we did in the past, 12 months. And the next thing will be, the users kind of find out, the Bitcoin still remains the strongest, asset. That is what happened in the past 5 days. You can see Ethereum basically, just still stayed there. Last year, the price. Well, we know Ethereum is kind of going up like recently, but still comparing to last year, it's still the same price. Solana, BNB, have ups and downs, but Bitcoin, basically went up 80%. So we want users on Merlinchain to hold Bitcoin, but also we want to provide easier ways for users to earn Bitcoin yields. That's what we said about the earn part, and also we want to emphasize the invest part, to use Bitcoin as a currency. Not only as a slow, hard to use asset, but also to use this as a currency to buy, to invest, to go on many chains, on Pump Fund, on Let's Bank, on Forming, on Virtuals, on many chains, to do all kinds of investment, even riskier one, to use Bitcoin. And while doing all these investments, we provide all kinds of tools with AI to help users to do these kind of investments. So yeah, so basically that's what we are trying to address here. What is Merlinchain 2.0? And that's just basically, it's just a roadmap. But we will be launching more products around this goal to help users to actually use the product, to use Bitcoin in many ways on Merlinchain.
Yeah. This third part right here, it says Bitcoin yield, a future $1 trillion market. So this is just basically saying if you only hold, then the 82% is what, like the percentage of people that will only hold, or what?
No, that's the price,
Gain.
in the past year. Yeah.
Okay.
Price gain.
Okay. Gotcha. And then you have Babylon, you get a 1% yield, Solve 2 to 4%, Merlin Vault 8 to 21. So this is the new product, by the way. If you guys go to merlinchain.io and you go to stake, you can participate in this. And this is just straight Bitcoin to earn more Bitcoin. And the average comes out to be about 16% yield there. So it's really solid. And then this was obviously whenever the chain launched, and you got that 40 to 50% yield off of your Bitcoin in that. So awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really exciting to be able to offer more products like this, because it's not easy to find, but it's starting to become more and more prevalent. How do you determine like a solid product versus somebody that, or a new product that might not be as has a strong foundation?
I mean, when it comes to how to spend the money, we don't really do like pick which one is more.
No, I'm talking about from like a consumer's perspective. If I'm looking to stake my Bitcoin for somewhere, what should I look for?
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, first, you should look at the yield, of course. Second, you should look at the time, because when you do off-chain strategy, when you do vault, I believe right now Solve their highest APY product is off-chain strategy, which means your money will be moved to off-chain. So they will use Bitcoin as collateral to loan other assets like stablecoin or even BNB to do off-chain strategy to make yields. So that part cannot be that transparent. But these strategy have higher yield, because when they use money to do trading strategy, basically that's higher than on-chain, like put that Bitcoin into the LP to earn yields. So I think that's just people's choice. Some people believe in a more transparent way, but some people like they want more yield.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's talk about this AI part. It says leveraging advanced AI to enhance user experience. Can you talk a little bit about that part of your plan?
Yeah, so I think right now, even the market is getting much better. Still, there are lots of users they're still confused. Like even me. Like today, I saw the NFT price is going up, but I don't really know which asset should I buy. Right? You see everything is going up. You kind of feel the FOMO, but you don't know what to buy. So we're trying to put up a signal-driven product that users can use this first to get signals. So something like this on-chain movement is really bullish for this asset, or on social media there are lots of people talking about this new asset coming up. And also it will be an enhanced version of ChatGPT for crypto. I think I posted on Twitter today that we tried our new product. We asked the wizard what's going on with the Conflux token, and it gives us basically 3 parts of information. First information is about what is this project, what's the background, what's the narrative behind that. The second part is what's the on-chain movement, what's the CEX price change, what is the OI, what is the liquidation for this asset, why it's going up like so high risk, like today for 120%. The third part is the social media signal. It gives you a summary about what kinds of people are talking about these assets. Are they bullish? Are they bearish? Do they have evidence? Do they have ground to make their point? So basically, it will give you 3 parts of information, which is much more than ChatGPT or DeepSeek or any other AI agent. So we're trying to build this kind of product. It's already in the testing phase, and allow users to get more signals from AI.
Yeah, it feels like you guys built this for the crypto ecosystem, when the other ones like Gronk and AI and like ChatGPT and stuff are kind of built for different things, right? Different areas. When this Wizard AI feels like it's crypto native, right?
Yeah, and go ahead.
No, go.
I was just gonna say that I think this actually is gonna be the main factor that onboards retail again, right? I mean, obviously retail is starting to search for Ethereum and stuff like that, but some retail that's newer, they're going to feel confused. Like Jeff said, Jeff is obviously a veteran in our space. Even him that woke up was like, what the hell's happening with NFTs? Imagine just a newbie coming in, and now they're going to have the wizard. They're going to have these tools to be like, hey, I'm new, help me out, find this, that. Is that kind of like a vision you have?
Yep, exactly.
So what are you most excited about? We kind of ran through a lot of stuff there, but what are you personally most excited about?
Yeah, my most exciting part is to actually make Bitcoin the currency, because right now nobody sees Bitcoin as a currency. You know, Bitcoin cannot be used. I mean, before lots of people were using Bitcoin to inscribe all kinds of crap on chain, but now probably not anymore. But you know, if you can still use Bitcoin to get new tokens from forming from virtuals from Pump Fund, I think that would be a good way for users to start to understand this kind of concept.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, so last question I have for you is a little market talk here. So it seems like we're in that part of the cycle that Ethereum's taking that first baby step, saying, hey, I want to start detaching from Bitcoin. You have institutions, people like Tom Lee saying, Ethereum's the next big opportunity. Do you see us at this stage right now that like Ethereum is taking a little more of that market share, and then we got maybe like a month of Ethereum running, and then alts will respond? Or how do you view it?
Yeah, right now I'm leaning to believe that this will happen. If that was like a couple months ago, probably people are not that kind of confident. But right now, you can see lots of projects are making big moves. Like now you see Ethereum, but next week probably you can see BNB, Tron, Solana, Sui, Aptos, Story, like all these projects coming, to catch the wind, to go with Ethereum. Like even we are thinking about how to get on this boat with all these other projects. Like for example, we are actively talking to like 3 different companies on the from Nasdaq. They have Bitcoin treasury. They want to make yields with, because like I think I retweeted a post today. There's lots of Ethereum guys saying if you have Ethereum, you will have a 4% yield. So basically Ethereum treasury is Bitcoin plus yields. And many people are shitting this kind of idea. But just imagine if there's a first Bitcoin treasury has native yields more than 4%. That would be a huge news for the industry, because right now all these Bitcoin treasuries, which is more than $150 billion worth of Bitcoin, has no yields, and all these Ethereum treasuries are saying, oh, we have 4%, we have 4%, we have native yields. So what happens? These Bitcoin treasuries have yields. So that's something we are working on with all these companies from Nasdaq, and also we are trying to get some companies who are interested to buy Merl as one of their treasury assets. So yeah, I think everyone right now is catching up with the speed to join. No matter you think this is working with stock is is a betray or it's a great idea. No matter what you think, I think everyone is is trying to catch up with this new movement to actually make a joint power from the crypto and also the stock market.
Yeah,
we just seen a medical company come in and buy $100 million of Litecoin. And I was actually thinking about this. I was like, what if there's a company that comes in and buys like $100 million worth of Merlin, right? Or like even a couple $1 million worth of Merlin. Do you see Merlin as potential a treasury asset for some of these companies?
I don't think now, because I think it's still a very young project, to be honest. Like I don't want to be crazy thing, but if everybody else is doing that, it's just like stupid for you not to even try.
Whip up a SPAC, the on-chain revolution SPAC holding Merlin. But yeah, man, it's been awesome. Thank you for joining us as you do every Monday.
Ask the question.
What was the question? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Stan says I put that up. I forgot. Would Jeff identify himself as a BTC maxi? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it always depends on how you define Bitcoin maxi, because I bought my first Bitcoin like 12 years ago. So, and also I believe Bitcoin is the only thing makes sense. in this real world. I don't think US dollar makes sense. I don't think housing makes sense. I don't think anything else makes sense, but Bitcoin makes sense. So if in that sense, of course, I'm Bitcoin maxi. But I also want Bitcoin to have more opportunities. Like, there are people against trading Bitcoin on central exchange. There are people against making Bitcoin a ETF. There are people against, all kinds of stuff. Like I still want Bitcoin to have more opportunities. Like, Satoshi proposed on day one, make, Bitcoin like the digital currency, a chain that can stay forever and store content. There are still lots of possibilities that haven't been done with Bitcoin.
Love it, man. Absolutely awesome. Yeah. I'm actually shocked that you said you identify as a Bitcoin maxi. I know you're somebody who likes to play on chain. When I think of maxi, I just kind of think of the evil banking, right? Like the Max Kaisers, the people who've got in day one, who hate everything besides Bitcoin. And I think maybe the maxi term is changing a little bit though as well.
It needs to. It needs to change, because I think if you believe that Bitcoin is the best asset in the class, then you could define yourself as that. But that doesn't mean you're going to close yourself off to other opportunities. You got to always have open mind to other opportunities, in my opinion.
Yeah, MicroStrategy, like Michael Saylor, like 5 years ago, how people identify Michael Saylor. Some people think he's just like an outsider, like whatever they think, small guy. But right now, if you say Michael Saylor is not Bitcoin OG or Bitcoin maxi, people will think you're dumb.
True. Very, very true.
Well, this has been absolutely awesome, Jeff, man. Really appreciate your time, and we definitely hope you feel better. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right, bye.
Yeah, man, absolutely awesome. I forgot to give him his last any last words, but we can do that next week. But yeah, man, I have a couple more banners and stuff.
Yeah,
I want to jump to that. All right. See me where we were at. Got to that. SharpLink. All right. Start here. Pantera-backed Ether machine goes public with a $1.5 billion raise, launching with 400,000 ETH to offer to the largest institutional Ethereum exposure and yield. Think about this for a second. So Pantera-backed Ether machine. Apparently it's a SPAC, and it's basically sole purpose. This is more Ethereum than SharpLink now. So this becomes like the number one. I think SharpLink has like 250,000. I might be mistaken. But yeah, what do you think about this? Pantera is somebody who's been selling down ETH and buying Solana recently as well.
I think that they realized that the tide has turned, right? And maybe they were losing some faith on Ethereum before, and now they're kind of like a degen trader that's like, oh, I want to catch it before. No, just kidding. But like, this is a huge, acquisition, or like amount that they're getting and raising, right? So this is bullish for ETH, right? Because now, like, you have two juggernauts that are kind of going at it. Right. And then I don't think that's going to be the end of the story. I think there's going to be multiple. Tom Lee's the third, and then you're going to have more and more, because I think the yield aspect of it's so attractive. And to get it now while it's rising up and people are projecting 6K by the end of this year, while you can earn 6% on that, imagine you don't really care if it goes back to, 5,500 or whatever, while you start selling some of your rewards or whatever, whenever that happens. So.
Yeah, 100%. So the strategic ETH reserve surges to 6.6 billion now with this new purchase, with backing from 56 entities, with the first 3 or 4, being the majority of it. But this is absolutely insane. Strategic Ethereum reserve. I honestly, it wasn't on my bingo card. Honestly, maybe it should have been, but I'm actually kind of you see what Michael Saylor's done for Bitcoin. But now you got Tom Lee, Pantera, and SharpLink all kind of being big players in this.
Yeah, and you're about to see like how number go up technology truly is the marketing master of all. Because you saw, during the summer, ETH was literally the guy that was getting picked on the entire cycle. There was a moment where everybody was like, oh shoot, last Q4 when it went to 4,000, but man, this entire year for sure. And now that it's picking up in price, it's attractive again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it gets to 4,100 or 4,800 and 5,000. Now you're talking about a whole nother class of bullishness that we'll see with it. And then we know what happens after that. So it also will show if these alts really start to thrive here very soon, once Ethereum gets to like 4,100 or whatever, it's going to show that ETH is that ignition for the alt market, because Sol and XRP and those other ones that kind of got moving last Q4, that wasn't sustainable. But now we're going to see, I think, something that will show, these alts. It's time. It's go time.
It's exciting for sure. And then so somebody recently bought a bunch of ETH on Binance and then withdrew it to a wallet, and that wallet bought 45 CryptoPunks. So about $7 million yesterday, about 2,000 ETH. But the volume, the single day volume, that caused insanity to happen. Single day volume drove to $15 million for CryptoPunks. Their floor now is 173,000 for these CryptoPunks. So this is 15 million single day volume. The floor $173,000 now. Absolutely insane. And that brought up everything else as well. Really had people buying this stuff crazy. I mean, you see Pudgy Penguins up 10%, Bored Apes up 18%. I don't know what the hell this is, but it's up 41%. 121K floor. That's wild. What is this thing? Art? Digital art? I'm not even sure, but it jumped up. This is just on Ethereum, right?
What's the volume on that, though? Probably not too much.
2.5 million. I mean,
okay, well,
it's a lot.
multiple purchases.
Yeah, that's what 15 purchases for sure. Pudgy Penguins had a nice soar. But what do you think about that wallet, though? $6 million in CryptoPunks. Do you think that's a smart move? Why not just hold ETH?
I think they're just trying to get them really cheap. They were probably trying to get
$150,000 is cheap.
Well, I mean, how much did they pay for them each? 150K.
It was an average 150K. Yeah.
What was the floor of them last cycle? It's not going to come. I don't think it hits that, but
I think some of them hit like ETH value wise 100 ETH.
Yeah,
and ETH was like 4,800.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I don't know. Maybe this person has that much money.
Yeah.
Maybe what's his name, Dingaling or whatever his name is, the guy that buys all the NFTs.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, the Chinese guy that buys them all. Maybe it's like that type of player, right? You're like, what are you talking about?
I was like, Dingaling, but then I realized I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
But like for some reason, I hate CryptoPunks, and it's probably because like a lot of the scammers that are in my DMs have a CryptoPunk PFP. Obviously, they don't own a CryptoPunk. They just put this PFP on to make them feel like, oh, yeah, it's just someone with a CryptoPunk. But what do you think about CryptoPunks? Would you ever own one? Let's say you hit big, you have over a couple $1 million in assets. Would you purchase a CryptoPunk?
I probably wouldn't. I would try to like be more into like the tokens that are getting a lot of support from institutions and stuff like that, right? Because I think for them it's like a just consistent long game for those. But if I had $50 million, then maybe I would dabble with a couple that might, I'm really confident that they'll like 10x or something like that.
What about a Pudgy? If I ever get rich, I would.
So I'm actually more bullish on this. You might not be as high of a floor, but I'm just more bullish on Luca Nets, man. I just feel like the guy is like he's a genius in terms of business.
Yeah, I'm excited that this stuff's even moving. And then to Jeff's point from earlier, everything skyrocketed over here. Udi had a post. He said, if Pudgy Penguins and CryptoPunks are so high, Taproot Wizards are low. $26,000, up 30%. Pretty wild. 54 sales in one day. How much of that was Udi? I don't know. But then you see No Monkeys rising back up to 4.9, almost a little under 5K, taking the number one reign again there. They are the number one collection. And no, number two. Okay, so this is my market cap. Wow, Taproot Wizards, even with the low supply, are still 54 million. Yeah, so Taproot Wizards, No Monkeys, Puppets, Ordle MaxiBiz. Pretty crazy that this is such a huge difference, though, right? Between Puppets, Node Monkeys, and Ordle MaxiBiz.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Wizards can really jump up pretty quick because of the bullets that they have in their chamber,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But the fact that you're seeing, no monks in puppets, we expect them to be at least around this price. But
Yeah.
we'll see if they get to 10K. I think that's a big move, huge move, right, for them, because then now you're starting to really get close to where you were. Frogs getting to 1,000 is a big statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Love
So,
that. Love to see that.
I mean, those people competing at the beginning of our show would probably love to see that, because someone's going to win a Bitcoin frog at the end of the
Yeah.
year. So stuff like that. Now, I think when we see Bitmap moving, then we're like, okay, we're deep in, because at that point, like, people are just
know.
trying to pump everything, right? So
What Bitmap's $10. I actually see this getting down to $2, and
even
that's
when
mainly
everything's
'cause
going crazy.
yeah, there's just nobody building for it anymore. Like, you kind of see Foxy and who's now Jungle, they kind of moving away from it a little bit. You saw, Jeff's kind of more focused on DeFi. He's no longer really building for it anymore. Solana Chris is disappeared from the face of the earth. He's kind of gone. The guys from Expectar, they're kind of done with Bitmap as well. There's all the builders left. The people who were around, the very toxic, Bitoshi kind of got sick or something, and he's not really around anymore. I just think it would take a lot to push Bitmap even to $50 again. I think it, and the inflation, the daily inflation, and it's tough. It's going to be tough for Bitmaps to get over $20 again.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things to where, like, you try to pull the narrative back, and everything has to be thriving a lot. Like, to where people are making so much money, and they're just like, well, let's try to get this going again, so you can get them cheap and then sell them high.
Yeah.
So, it's so crazy. It's kind of sad, actually, because there was a strong movement at one point.
Look at the frogs, dude. Just popped up to 1.1.
Yeah,
Just in a matter of time. That's crazy. Pretty wild. All right, jump to the next thing now. Ethereum launches the Torch NFT for its 10th anniversary, a token honoring the people and values that shaped Ethereum's first decade. So this is kind of what it is, right? So what they're doing is they have this NFT. It's called the Torch. There's one of one. They're every single day it goes to a somebody who's huge in the Ethereum ecosystem, and that person holds it for one day, and then it goes to someone else. It's called passing the torch. What do you think about this? Countdown day 9. This person right here has it, held by Audrey Tang. I'll give him a follow, but he is now holding the torch, and he'll pass it along tomorrow. What do you think about this? Think it's pretty cool?
Is it an actual collection, or is it just a one-on-one?
It's one of one.
I think that's kind of cool, but, like, what's the point? Is, like, people that, like, support Ethereum and big parts of the community and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're basically saying that the 10 people, they're picking the top 10 community members, basically the people who supported Ethereum from the beginning and the people who are still around.
Yeah, I think it's a cool concept. Hey, anything to get Ethereum to $10,000. I think the foundation made a statement, and they said, we want to get Ethereum to 10,000. So maybe this is a part of that plan. But go ahead.
Yeah. Do you think that they're going to auction it off at the end? And
probably, I imagine.
Yeah.
But, like, when it comes to one of ones, it's hard to, like, you just auction it, like you said, and then that's what the value is. Like, a one of one's value is whatever someone will pay for it. Right.
Well,
so
that's everyone. That's every collection, though, right?
Sure. No, because, like, you have multiple items in a collection that's similar to each other, and then they kind of around the same price. But that's the one of ones, and that's how it works in the card world as well. It's like when you ask a dealer, like, how much is that worth? They'll be like, whatever someone's willing to pay for it. Right. So
yeah, for sure. And you can kind of go back to what it sold for before, and but I mean, if you look at the Etherscan and see the top 10 Ethereum guys, Ethereum whales are all on this, right? That's pretty cool, right? You can see, like, hey, this guy held it, this guy held it, this guy held it. Like, that's, I don't know, man. I think this thing can go for tens of millions of dollars. Like, to a collector, not somebody who wants to trade it, somebody who just wants to have that, right?
Yeah, someone that has that kind of money that they just don't care. You know what I mean? They throw it at it.
Someone like him or someone. I mean,
he paid what, $16 million for a banana or whatever that was.
Yeah, and then he ate the banana.
Or maybe it was 1.6 million.
That's FU money when you buy a banana for $16 million. But we'll see what happens with this. Vitalik Buterin reports almost 50% of the stake is voting to increase L1's gas limit to 45 million, up from its $37 million gas limit. So this is why holding Ethereum is so important, because SharpLink now has a vote in this, right? BlackRock now has a vote in this type of situations. And this is why if something's 50-50 and it just takes a little bit of push, SharpLink could potentially push this over. But I don't like this. I don't like pushing the gas limit up, because this is going to, it's going to make a gas cheaper on Ethereum. There's no reason for it though, because you have all these Ethereum L2s. Ethereum could be this like layer 0 to all these, potential L2s, and now they can be all kind of L1s. I hate this in the same way, but it's not up to me. It's up to the stakers. What do you think about this?
So I wonder what fail safes they have, and because like you said, one day someone could technically take over the chain.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's going to be an interesting day, and they have to have some things in place to prevent that, right? Because like their whole thing is, but after Bitcoin, Ethereum's like the most decentralized platform.
Yeah, well, I mean 100%. But at the same time, the Ethereum Foundation is the one selling down Ethereum, right? So it's kind of like they're giving, like, Ethereum Foundation should want to hold 30% of the supply at least, so they have the giant say in what happens. But at the end of the day, anyone can come in and buy 51% of the Ethereum. I mean, they're going to pay $200 million. I mean, that's not. I mean, $200 million. Think about that. I mean, it's Michael Saylor. It basically has that in Bitcoin. I think it has like 70.
Wait, is that
dollars or something?
Wait, 200 billion
billion would it be?
Okay, I was about to say. I mean, that's still a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Well, I mean, all you gotta do, let's see exactly how much money it is. So just kind of go to market cap. Ethereum's market cap is, why is this not for me? What the heck? Oh, because all crypto. So let me show what I'm showing here. So so Ethereum right now 456. So you need 51% of that basically, and that's just staked, right? So you need 51% of the staked. So that's actually even less than that. You might need 100 billion could potentially get you a huge amount of say in the Bitcoin block, in the Ethereum blockchain. So
yeah, just I think it would take a lot of effort to get there.
SharpLinks potentially can do it. I mean, they already have like what 40 billion, and it's all staked. I mean,
they had a good little head start though.
Yeah, 100%. Jack Dorsey's block joins the S&P 500. Block holds 8,584 Bitcoin, marking them as the third Bitcoin company in the S&P. What do you think about this?
I don't love it, just because I don't I don't like him that much. But yeah, I mean, it's another example of crypto adoption, right, into TradFi markets and just adoption in general, right, for sophisticated people, society that are in finance. So it's good for the crypto space. Bitcoin companies, crypto companies getting integrated is good, because then they have to eventually, and what they're doing is they're meeting us over here. So
yeah, 100%. Jack Dorsey's new app uses mesh networks to let you chat without the internet. What do you think about this? You're using Bitcoin's blockchain to kind of send messages and encrypt it. It's kind of like what you're doing is you're kind of it's funny that he doesn't like ordinals and runes, but he's using that same method of basically inscribing. You're using his indexers, but you're inscribing messages on chain, and but you can choose who's allowed to see it. You can choose that everyone else will see, like, this is a cryptic message. Only the person that you send it to will actually be able to see that. What do you think about this, Jack Dorsey? I mean, this is innovation. Being able to do stuff without the internet. I mean, internet goes down, Bitcoin's dead.
Yeah, but it's Bluetooth.
This actually solves that. It's Bluetooth.
It's Bluetooth, and Bluetooth can be spotty for sure. So I think they said 100 yards maybe, or something like that. Maybe I think
it was 3 football fields.
Okay, so 300 yards. But that's not that bad actually. 300 yards, if they can make it that. Have you seen the interface? I saw some of the.
It looks old.
It looks so bad, dude. It looks so bad. Like I was looking at, I was like, no one's gonna use this unless you're a developer or someone that's like, really familiar with it and stuff like that after a while. But I don't know.
Criminals, bro. That's the first thing I thought. This is the ultimate criminal, like how to speak to other criminals, right? Like encrypt it on the blockchain, like no one else can see it but the other person. Like who else would use this? Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like if I wasn't doing criminal activity, why would I need to do this unless the internet goes down?
Yeah, probably criminals, I guess. But
yeah,
it doesn't look user friendly at all.
Not at all. Okay, so Peter Thiel backed crypto exchange Bullish. I've never heard of this one. But if Peter Thiel's back in the crypto exchange, you got to start paying attention. I'm gonna look up this after the show. They filed for an IPO to go public. Do you know what Bullish is?
No, but I was gonna say he backed the pump token, didn't he? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and look what the pump token did. Like
crap.
$400 billion. You can't call that crap. I mean,
care. For the retail user, it was bad. But yeah, I mean, Peter Thiel has a lot of money.
A bandit.
He's gonna make this is gonna be able to raise, of course, like but so
I'm actually excited.
Yeah, what is it?
To have a crypto. It's a crypto exchange. It's called bullish.com. This is it right here. I'll show you guys what's going on. So Bullish exchange. Oh, it's not available in my location. What?
They're still doing that? I thought we had clarification now. I thought
that's Peter Thiel backed. Screw these guys, man. All right, let's move on here. $10.8 trillion asset manager Charles Schwab. I didn't know Charles Schwab had this much. I know like they're up there with BlackRock and Vanguard, which is crazy. So $10.8 trillion asset manager Charles Schwab adding spot BTC any trading on the Schwab exchange. They said they will have a stable coin at some point, the Charles Schwab stable coin potentially being traded on their network as well. It does seem like everyone's going to have a stable coin, and I love it. I love that fact, by the way, because, dude, I'm already seeing, you know what the yield is for USDC and PayPal? USDC? It's like 7-8% for holding two stable coins that won't ever budge on Uniswap.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because they're not allowed to offer yield to their users, but
yeah,
wow,
8%, bro.
That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, just that's money. It's regular money, right? Yeah. And like, if you believe that stable or PayPal won't go under, and then what's the other one?
USDC Circle.
I mean, that's big.
That's basically staking the dollar. And getting 7% yield. I mean, that's better than most bonds. But the best part, I was thinking, I was like, who's going to be swapping PayPal USD and USDC? And I saw the other day that USDC was above $1 and PayPal was below $1.
Arbitrage.
And then the arbitrage opportunity. You just buy the other one, hold it, and then you sell it back. And you can make more and more PayPal. Like, there's people doing this. And you're making a lot of money from that. And that's where, and you have to pay a fee, right, for each trade. But that that fee goes into the people that are staking it, or not staking it, or giving yield, giving liquidity. So, but yeah.
But I feel like this is what the banks were like kind of worried about, though. But not for what you just explained on Uniswap. That's what they're okay with up until now. But like, they're like, okay, for the regular person doesn't know how to do that. You know what I mean? But the regular person knows how to like go to their bank or this company that offers stable coin and then gives yield and stuff like that. But like us, we can take advantage of this 8% because think about it, 8% is better than anything you're gonna get at your bank.
Yeah,
you ain't getting no 8%. You know what I mean? And you're just doing straight up. You have $100,000, just 50,000 in USDC, 50,000 PUSDC or whatever it is, PYUSD, 8%, right? So. They just don't want that to go to where you go into a place and they'll be like, we'll handle it for you. You know what I mean?
Why not? Why not decentralized, right? If you're going to put in this contract, that contract adds LP.
Well, I mean, they don't want to compete against them is what I'm saying.
Well, they are. It's too late. Decentralized. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about it. Charles Schwab, Sable.
My point is that you can't actually do it because they put it in the Clarity or the Genius Act. Like if you're an issuer,
there's nothing you can do.
If you're an issuer, you can't.
I'm not talking about the issuer. I'm talking about like a decentralized protocol saying, "Hey, deposit your stable, and we'll get you 7% yield."
Yeah. But my point is that like they're okay with that. They're just not okay with like Walmart saying, okay, come to Walmart, we'll give you 7% off of our stablecoin or whatever. You know what I mean? But in the end, I think, you know, the small percentage of like people in society that are smart enough to do it. I mean, I think they'll come over and they'll learn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't know how to buy a bond, right?
Yeah.
But people still do it every day. Like, if I wanted a bond, I could find somebody to buy it for me. Like, do you know how to buy a bond?
No, but like we could probably ChatGPT.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Exactly my point, though, with the normal person. ChatGPT could easily walk them through how to get yield on their stable coins, right? If they wanted to do it. If you really wanted to do it, you know, you do it with low money first, make sure it's good, and then keep adding to it. It's actually really simple when you think about it. You just you press a couple of buttons. And that's the same thing, right? Someone will say something about buying a bond. They'll be like, oh, it's a few buttons. Like, how do you not know how to buy a bond? I just hadn't put the time into learning it.
Yeah, and but that's going to be easier too once, you know, RWAs become more accessible, and you're going to have people like in Indonesia probably buy like a synthetic US bond or whatever.
Yeah,
or trade it.
100%. All right. So next thing, co-founder and CEO of Pump Fund has officially announced that distribution of the Pump airdrop is eligible. Active Solana wallets will commence on July 24th. So they are airdropping. So originally the airdrop was just to like the very OGs or something. I'm not sure. But now the official to everyone else is July 24th. I mean, it's a couple days away. Do you think it's smart to short the Pump token right now? I'm actually thinking about it, bro.
I mean, it was smart to short it last week.
Yeah.
And if there's going to be an airdrop coming, like, I mean, I imagine it has to be like ×5 or like in terms of bleed out. But it was at a $1.4 billion market cap when I last saw it. And the problem is that their evaluation was $4 billion, and a lot of people were like, "What the heck? Like that? You guys valuated yourself way too high." Because like if they came out at like 1.5 billion, at least like that's where they are now after it's bled out forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it sold down to like 700 million, 600 million, then people with, you know, size would be like, oh, this is a steal. But now because it bled from 4 billion to 1.4, they're like, this is going to continually bleed, right? And so now with the airdrop coming in, I think it probably does again bleed down. It could get below $1 billion market cap.
How low can you go? That's what I want to know. What about 3? Can you get under 3, under 2? What's like the bottom? Do you think?
No, I'm saying right now it's at 1.4. I think it could get below $1 billion. They evaluate
4 billion,
but it sold down a ton.
It's not that low. There's no way.
Dude, look at it. Type in Pump. Last time I saw it said 1.4.
Where am I at?
Unless I looked at it different.
There's no way because I saw it at. Let me pump it in. Pump it in. Pump it in.
Pump it in.
Yeah, bro. This thing is sitting at 4.26
right now.
Yeah.
No way.
Look, FTV 4.26.
What's the?
It's $1 billion tokens, so you just got to do the math. It's 0. I mean, they purchased it at 0.004. That's where the exchange guys were buying it. So it's not that bad.
Wow,
actually.
4 billion. So then, I mean, it's been bleeding out, so that means it jumped up to like 7 billion because you can see the price up there.
It got up to like 9, bro.
Where did I see? I could have sworn I saw. Oh, so the circulating supply is at 1.5. If you go to,
I was looking at FTV. Okay.
Yeah. You see,
I was looking at it like a pump
But that's where that's what they evaluated themselves at, right? Is a $4 billion market cap. So
yeah.
I don't know.
How do you see the
up?
Oh, okay, 1.5. Okay, I see what you're saying. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. But do you think? Okay, well, in that sense, do you think it under $1 billion?
I think it could. I mean, there's a lot of like hate for it, and I just don't know what he could come out with that's gonna entice people to jump into that token after there's been such a bad taste in everybody's mouths. I mean, you have to remember there's a lot of big whales that got killed in that token.
Yeah,
killed in that token.
100%.
I saw a lot of crypto Twitter. I just lost 75K. I just lost 200K and whatever in the pump token because it like they thought at one point it was going to reverse, and it did
Yeah.
after the 30 million. So that's whenever they were like, okay, this is going to keep going. Ethereum's taking off. It was the worst scenario for them because it's like, okay,
Yeah.
he injected. Everybody wants to come in. It got to 0.006 again. So it went down to like 0.004 something or 5, and then got to 0.0065.
Gotcha.
So it's like, oh, we're gonna hit an all-time high again. Nope, wrecked, got all the way down to 0.00317, and then it came back up. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not too bullish on that at all.
One of the most successful DAOs out there is Aave. Aave DAO approves Kraken-backed Inc. Foundation to launch a white label version of lending protocol in ARFC vote. What do you think about this? Now they're going to be an Aave, basically back end with a Kraken type Inc. front end, basically giving them all the liquidity to what they built on Ethereum with Aave. I mean, this is absolutely insane to me.
This is a huge smart move by them, and not just
By
them.
Aave or
No,
Kraken?
Kraken. Yeah, because because they're using Aave for their. Is that correct? Am I got that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so not just them, by the way. The other top centralized exchanges are making really smart moves in the last 6 to 8 months by just integrating the on-chain environment into their overall experience. The end user at that level 1 won't really notice it as much, but we do. We notice what's going on here, and I think it's really smart. And Kraken, again, they're the ones that are trying to break things in terms of like, hey, we're going 0 to 1,000 as much as we can the cycle, because in my opinion, I think they had some lost time the past year and a half, 2 years, because dealing with the SEC. I mean, we didn't really hear about Kraken very much in the US, even though it was a US company. You know what I mean? But now their shackles have been released, so they have the opportunity to say actually want to compete with something like Coinbase. You know what I mean? They actually have an opportunity now as opposed to before when they were tied down.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so bullish in Keychain. I just gotta get over there because there's probably a lot of opportunities and incentive stuff like that. Get some Ethereum over there and just kind of mess around. I love this. I think this is amazing for the Aave DAO guys too. I mean, so they messed up and they voted no for base chain. And then Moonwell became the biggest lending and buying, and I don't think they want to do that again. They're over there now, but still Moonwell is like the number 1 borrowing and lending place now because they missed the opportunity, and I don't think they want to miss it with Kraken. So huge, absolutely huge. All right, next thing here is Tether CEO says USDT is coming to America. So I was listening to the All In podcast on this weekend, and David Sachs was like, he said, he didn't mention Tether by name, but he said the largest stablecoin provider that has 3 years to come, to basically come and regulate with the US, or they'll be done. What's his exact words? David Sachs said this. So he basically they're giving Tether an ultimatum: either come to the US and participate in the regulations, or be sanctioned potentially in the US and potential EU as well. So what do you think about this? David Sachs kind of giving Tether CEO a warning, and then today him coming out and say, hey, yeah, we're going to we're coming. It's just we just need a little time.
Gotta get your
3
affairs,
years though. They got 3 years.
Gotta get your affairs in order. Yeah. I think this is going to be good for them in the end. It should be. The only problem is that they got to make sure everything is kosher, right? That's the biggest thing. Because we're going to find out if it wasn't, and maybe we won't if they're able to clean it up before they do. Obviously, they're not going to come over here and do an audit with things messed up, but we're going to, I guess, find out exactly how they're going to be able to prove they're collateralized and all these things, but we might start seeing some assets being sold down a ton.
That's what I'm thinking. Some boats, some cars, some whole bunch of whole crazy stuff. So
some bonds, maybe.
Yeah, well, they might buy more bonds, right? Because they got to put that money somewhere that they can back the.
Yeah, well, and that would probably be a good if they're able to use that as proof.
No, you can. You can.
Okay.
You can
so then, yeah.
bonds. But the gold, I don't know if you're able to use gold. I don't know if you're able to use boats and
No,
yachts.
I don't
And
think
stuff
you can
like
use
that,
boats.
Ryan Bolon is here. Shout out to you, man. You're actually making the comments fire right now. What's up, Crypto Nation? Are we ready for Moonshot incoming? He said Billy Bitcoin. Billy $1 billion cat is rubbed.
He meant in runes.
Okay, on Rune. Sorry. Okay. He said best spot in the last 5 years. Circle IPO. Bank of Ripple. Everything is changing. Love it. And then he says Bitcoin and Solana only has 21 million Bitcoins. Food for thought. Bitcoin on Solana, but okay. He also says Bitcoin 21,000 coins, game changer. Ryan says me either, but who wants bonds now? I agree. He said the people who want things that are interested learn how exactly the right place. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no excuse. Like, if someone tells me I don't know how to do that, I think they're a complete idiot. Like, honestly, like you can figure out. Even my kids, they ask me stuff, and I'll be like, "Ask ChatGPT." Yeah, I can sit there and explain it to them, but teaching them how to find the information for themselves is way more knowledge than I can give them. So
Yeah, for sure. The experience itself.
Stan says Asia Hustle, our price appreciation savior. Yeah. Pump it up. It's time to pump it up. Come on, pump it up, guys. Got me singing. Damn, LOL. He says rugged. Only time will tell for pump. I hodl Aave. He says Ghost GHST. Aave Gachi bringing the gaming world and finance together. True story. ETH on base has only 754,000 coins for scalability. Stan says, is Kraken under new management? They shifted their business model from uptight curmudgeon to the cool kids on the block. What do you think of this? Do you think they've been under the same management, or do you think the CEO finally has reins to kind of do what he wants?
I have no idea, but they have a lot of leadership positions. It seems like,
Yeah,
like the organic. So their C-suites is probably starting to get crowded, but it's good for Bitcoin runes because all of them are like in the Bitcoin runes for sure. They're all like, especially their profile pictures, talking about it, all that stuff. But I wouldn't be shocked if someone came in, some sort of leadership change happened, and said, "Hey, look, this is our opportunity this year, this cycle, and we got a lot of investment coming in. We got our ICO or IPO happening, and there seems like they're taking advantage of that."
Yeah, 100%. I think you're right. I think that with the IPO coming up, and I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think they're trying to do as much as possible to kind of make sure that everything is looking really, really healthy for the future, and the sense of their chain. Having engagement on X, the CEO's engagement has been growing insanely because of Dog, because of what he's been doing in Runes, and I think he's loving the engagement right now, and it looks really good. Not only, I mean, the one big reason why Coinbase is so successful is because of Brian Armstrong, right? Obviously, right? That's pretty obvious, but it's because he can come out and say a few words on X, and every crypto, everything, I don't care what it is, CNBC will report on it, right? I don't think the leadership at Kraken, especially a few months ago, had that. Now, with him kind of growing his X account and growing his reach, I feel like he needs to be Brian Armstrong level, Winklevi type of level, to kind of have Kraken be a competitor to Coinbase, right?
Yeah. So I think there's two parts to it. I think Kraken is not the same, Coinbase doesn't have the same audience that somebody like Robinhood had with the stock side. They had more of the younger, the more of like the seniors that like don't know technical stuff is real easy. And I think Kraken can go after that group. All right. And so Coinbase is already established. So they've been around, they have most of the market share in the US, but I do think that there's an opportunity, especially with adoption happening, for Kraken to be that Robinhood. They came out with the Crack app. They have that, which is very Robinhood-esque.
Sorry about that.
Kind of a little bit, I guess you could say it's more like a Venmo kind of. But then they have two different apps. They have the Ink app, which is like very like Launchpad, inky app, and then they have the regular app, which to me I feel like it's really user friendly too. And so I think they, like, who was it, Ryan, or maybe it was Stan or whoever, said they seem to be the cool kids on the block. I think they're shooting for that. I think they're shooting for it to be the trendy, hey, you want to get into crypto, you don't know much, it's okay, we'll help you out. You know, check out our cool, sleek app type of situation.
Yeah, and they're trying to compete with everybody. They're trying to compete with, you know, with the Venmo and Cash App. They're trying to compete with Slingshot and MoonPay. They're trying to obviously compete with Coinbase, with Base Chain and the exchange. I don't know. I think they're doing. I'm so bullish on Kraken to the point where, like, you know, when things kind of settle down and buying their stock maybe next bear market could be the way to go. Honestly. You don't want to buy it after IPO. You know, it's going to run up, and then, you know, you definitely want to potentially get that in the bear market. Ryan says, so they will be able to wait for Bitcoin to go up, sell enough to cover their stablecoin, and be able to be in the US. Yeah, talking about Tether here. Yeah, pretty much. I wonder if you can back. See, I think another one of the problems is with Tether is they held a lot of Bitcoin backing their dollar, and I don't even think you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, because it's volatile. Back then, more, right, than it is now. But I think, you know, in the future, I don't know. You know, Dan Held says he's not a big fan of it, but I don't know why it would be that big of an issue if you zoom out and it's up only. The only thing would be like your dollar would be worth more. You know what I mean? Because like the appreciation of Bitcoin would continually grow up. Obviously, they would rebalance it. You know, they would constantly rebalance. So.
Yeah, and I don't even know if you can do, like, there's a lot of things I got to read up on. I think there's a lot of, I mean, potentially Tether might have to sell all their Bitcoin, or at least maybe buy it off themselves, because their Bitcoin is, you know, right now it's bought with USDT issuers, right? So I don't know. We'll say that's actually a little scary because they have a lot of Bitcoin. But that could be 3 years away. It could be 2.5 years away. Ryan Bolan says, right in the neighbor's house. Haha. Thanks, guys. Great channel. Thank you, man. Really appreciate you being here. He said, I got 40 trillion mini Bitcoin for President Trump's. Oh, yeah. You have a bunch of those too, don't you?
What?
The Trump ordinals?
Oh, I think I do. Somewhere.
I remember you telling me that. I think
you know what?
Too.
I think I might have listed them a long time ago, and I think they sold.
Okay.
Yeah. But those were cool.
Maybe Ryan bought them off you. Stan says, is Gemini a factor? Is this exchange uptick? Thanks. So Gemini, that's another one, right? They're the Winklevi. They have their own exchange as well. I don't know. I've used Gemini in the past, but there was just their fees are insane, bro. They have one of the largest fees out there.
I would imagine they would probably stick more to like an institutional style interface, kind of like a Fidelity style and stuff like that. But I don't know. I haven't used it. You said you used it, right? Is it more like super professional looking? Like, you know, like a trad, not like a TradFi app? Okay.
It kind of reminds me of E-Trade. Now you say that. It reminds me of like E-Trade. Yeah, like an E-Trade platform. You kind of go to it. There's no liquidity pools, nothing like that. It's very just like very Coinbase-y, but they only at the time that I was using, they had 11 coins. And they were
when did you use it?
2021. Yeah, mid-2021. I was trying to find better on-ramp because Coinbase was like super expensive. And I was kind of testing it out. And I was like, this is even more expensive. So that was before I found Cash App and everything else. So Ryan Bolan says, our kids are smarter than us. Yeah, well, it depends what age. Ryan says, BitLayer, Bitcoin, Hyper 3.0, Bitcoin 4. There's so many new coins for this growth. It's going to be amazing, dog. Bitcoin. Yes, 100%. Love Coinbase. Brian, I'm so smart. And Kathy Wood now calling BTC and ETH flight to safety. This is huge. Oh, she's saying ETH now too. Absolutely awesome. Well, that is our show for you guys today. Huge audience today. 649 people in here live. And that's just on X, YouTube, and Twitch. Not to mention everyone on Kick, Rumble, Abstract. Man, really appreciate every single one of you guys, man.
Absolutely, man. Without you guys, we couldn't do this. We love to do this, and we appreciate you supporting us. Also, our partners kind of support us to do this as well. So if you could check out our partners, we would greatly appreciate that. Sats Terminal is the DEX aggregator swap for the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you are looking to swap for runes, if you're looking to swap for altcoins, do it at satsterminal.com. You can earn Amber points. What are Amber Points? Amber Points are an XP system that's going to be a give back towards early adopters. So, utilize and accumulate those Amber Points because eventually they're not going to be there. So they're there now, and you can get that by just transactions on the platform there. You can also connect your wallet and earn 1,000 Amber Points right away. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. And then appreciate the super chat from Ryan Boylan. Appreciate that, sir. All right, so statsterminal.com. Make sure you guys check them out there. And then Emblem Vault is the interoperability layer tooling for the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to jump your ordinals. You can actually jump your ordinals now from Bitcoin Layer 1, your Taproot Wizards, your Bitcoin NFTs like Rare Pepes, whatever you want to Ethereum, but you can actually take a loan against your Taproot Wizard on the Gandhi app right now on Ethereum. In the future, they're planning to add other ecosystems like Abstract, Base, possibly Merlin and Solana as well. So make sure you're paying attention to that. And you can, in the future, hopefully the idea is that you can use AI Agent Hustle, which is another product of theirs, to help you vault that to make it a less tedious experience there and then take it over. But right now you can use Hustle to guide you through Solana. You can ask Hustle questions about tokens on Solana. Give me a couple safe 2, 3, 4, 5x tokens. Hustle will come back after it does the research, and you can kind of decide if that's what you want to do or not. Also, they added conditional trading with their latest version update. And you can access Hustle right now for free. There will always be a free version, but eventually when they do add the token integrated into the platform, the free version you won't have access to all the tools, but you'll have access to the basic ones there. Make sure you're going over there, try it out to see if this is something that you'd be into. But super excited and bullish on Agent Hustle. Head over to hustle.ai and learn more there. And then they have their Bitcoin Rune TGE called the Emblem Founder Vault. That is, you can actually purchase a pre-sale on OpenSea now. If you go to OpenSea and search Founder Vaults, you purchase one of these NFTs, you will get a Bitcoin wallet with the runes unlocked from that vault once TGE comes into play. Head over to emblem.vision to learn more all about that. And then we have Artura.finance, which is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. The idea is to be able to trade synthetic Bitcoin tokens here. So Dog Over the Moon is something they're really focused on. Hopefully that comes, pretty soon, because I'm excited to be trading Dog. I think that Dog's going to have a bright future there, but possibly Ordi, possibly SAS, possibly $1 billion cat. We'll see, whichever tokens have the demand there. And they're talking about some other crazy stuff too, possibly RWA stuff like that. But right now you can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum over there to kind of get things started off. They launched on Botonix. So if you use their platform, you can earn their XP points as well as Botonix points. And Botonix is going to give a kickback as well to early adopters. Make sure you're taking advantage of that. They're going to be launching on Hemi Bitcoin Layer 2 as well, coming up soon. So make sure you're following them at Artura Finance on X as well. Head over to Artura.finance to get familiar with the platform there. And then Fluid Tokens is the UTXO wizard dev group of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They started building on Cardano. They have the Aquarium application there on Cardano. You can participate in that by adding liquidity and earning Babel fees. They are known as one of the biggest builders on Cardano. So go over there and check it out on their Cardano side. On the Bitcoin side, they have staking vaults. They've already had 2 seasons of staking Dog Go to the Moon. They're about to have the 3rd season where you can stake Alkanes, earn supposedly Dog, or maybe another rune as well. And then vice versa, you can stake the Dog to earn Alkanes. Really exciting stuff there. If you are a founder and you want a staking vault for your community or your token, head over to their Discord. They'll walk you through how to get that set up. Also, they have an awesome airdrop tool on the Bitcoin side. If you're looking to airdrop runes or Alkanes to your community and you're a builder, you have 2 options. The first option is to upload a CSV file, which has all the addresses pre-propagated there. The second option is a manual option to do it one by one. Really simple, quick, and cheap, efficient. We tested this out, so we know firsthand there. Head over to fluidtokens.com to learn more and join their Discord, because they're really big about community over there. And then Tokyo Wallet is the smart multi-chain smart wallet that is built for the best UI UX for their users. They support Bitcoin and Cardano right now, and Sui is right around the corner, and they're going to be adding more ecosystems as well. You can swap for runes directly in the wallet, as they partnered with Sats Terminal to help do that. And then on the Cardano side, they partnered with Dex Hunter to help you swap for Cardano tokens. They also have an alpha section where you can find us and other YouTubers on there. It really truly is a one-stop shop. So if you have an iPhone, head over to the Apple App Store. If you have a Android, head over to the Google Play Store, download the app. Let us know what you think. We'll give the feedback to the team over there. Head over to Tokyo.io to dive in. And then Merlinchain, we talked to Jeff today. They're uniting Bitcoin strength through the power of AI. They have their AI wizard tool that can guide you through Merlinchain's ecosystem, but also once version 0.4 is added, you're going to be able to research other chains and wells and addresses, all types of crazy stuff. So make sure you're taking advantage of their AI tool, as it is free for users to use. And it can also do DeFi functions for you in the ecosystem, like staking and swapping. Speaking of staking, you can help secure the chain with their staking option there. There's 3 options. We went over them today. The Bitcoin one, you can stake Bitcoin to earn more Bitcoin. You can earn at a minimum 8%, maximum 21%. That averages around 16%. So the tokens do get locked until September 30th. So that's whenever the first, the session, I guess you could say, is going to be completed, and then they'll announce the next one there. And then if you want to stake your Merlinchain tokens, you could do so with 2 options. The day-to-day, which is called the flexible Merlin staking, you earn 15% APR. You can actually pull your rewards every day, but it is a 7-day cooldown period if you want to withdraw your Merlinchain tokens. Same thing with the 6-month bonded plan, but you earn 65% APR. So you earn more, and you can pull the rewards daily, but it is that cooldown, or you have to wait 6 months actually for that one. Head over to merlinchain.io. Research their upcoming roadmap. This team is doing huge things. They got listed on Kraken about 3 weeks ago, this little after Dog did. They're constantly in talks with new exchanges. They got big plans for Q4 and beyond. So head over to merlinchain.io. And then Ordinal Hive is the Ordinal aggregator marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to find the cheapest ordinals around at Ordinal Hive. They're going to have amazing trader tools on their platform as well. And one thing they always boast about is that, getting your Bitcoin after you sell an ordinal doesn't take forever. You get it instantaneously. And so that's something that's really cool about their UI UX experience there. Head over to ordinalhive.io to dive in there. And we thank you so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. As always. And if you guys have a few minutes and wouldn't mind checking out onchainrevolution.io, we have some of the, hold on 1 second. I don't know why that thing worked. onchainrevolution.io, and you guys can check out some of the best articles. New article probably dropping this week as well, but you guys can catch us up how the global M2 money supply surged. I mean, that's kind of the big reason why everything's up, right? Because they are just printing money like crazy. Check out this article here, and we have articles dating all the way back to 2023. If you know someone who's just trying to catch up, reading our articles week by week would really do that for you, 100% guaranteed. Check them all out here under Bitcoin Ecosystem News. And you guys can also get a VPN here, NordVPN. I highly recommend everyone get a VPN. And use our link, because if you go to the NordVPN.com, they're going to make you pay almost $12. But if you use our link, you get it for 76% off here, $3.39. Think about it. I went to a site earlier, right, and it blocked me because my geo location, because I have my VPN on right now, because it does affect the streaming a little bit, but it's something you guys don't have to worry about. When you guys go to sites and stuff like that, there's no blocking you anymore. You can put it to Italy, you can put it to El Salvador, you can put it to anywhere in the world that is not the United States, and pretty much have access to any site that you want. On top of that, though, we go to a lot of DeFi sites. The last thing we want is one of these sites to kind of get our IP address that actually could lead you to your home address, guys. I know you guys know when you sign in for when you sign in from a new device on Amazon or Google, they send you an email saying, hey, person, for my case anyway, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, wants to sign in, and it's like, oh yeah, that's me, no problem. But imagine getting someone evil getting your location. You don't want that. I don't want that. Get a VPN. Avoid geopolitical blocking and anyone getting your IP address. Not safe, not good. Get a VPN. $3 a month. Stop it. Get your VPN today. And on top of that, if you guys need merch, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto. the best merch, guys. I mean, jackets, hats, so much. I'm going to be adding some new stuff here, maybe some Seiko hamster, maybe some more Gizmo. Gizmo is flying right now, by the way, if you guys are holders of that. It's up a lot today. So definitely want to check out everything here. Hoodies, hats, jackets. I think I'm going to add a Gizmo. I want to purchase myself a Gizmo hat and maybe some Gizmo hoodies. I am Gizmo mania right now. Do we have a Gizmo hoodie? We do have a Gizmo hoodie. This thing is fire, by the way. I'm going to get me a Gizmo hoodie. But guys, check everything out at onchainrevolution.io. And remember, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction.